This is a slide presentation conducting a correlation analysis, Pearson's R correlation coefficient. We will address the following issues. We will examine the hypothesis test. We will examine the 4 boxes containing Pearson's R correlations. Next, you will see the names in each box, which are called variables. Then you will notice that these boxes contain numbers located on the top right side of the box and the lower bottom left side of the box. The top box represents the crossing of variables on the right side. The bottom box represents the crossing of variables on the left side. These boxes are our main focus for examining the level of significance. Notice the same information will help you to interpret the Pearson's R for a significant two-tailed value and the end. What is Pearson's R when it is closer to 1? It is an indication that Pearson's R correlation has a positive relationship between income and savings. When one variable increases in value, so does the other variable. The Pearson's R correlation is R equals 0.91. The p-value equals 0.000, assuming alpha equals 0.05. The null hypothesis states there is no correlation between income and savings. The alternative hypothesis states there is a correlation between income and savings. The test rejected the null hypothesis. It is concluded there was a correlation between income and savings. What is in the correlation box? When there is a significant Pearson's R correlation in the top box, you see savings and wallet. What changes occur in the savings account? Pearson's R equals 0.91 and p value equals 0.00. The HO, this null hypothesis, states there is no correlation between savings and wallet. The HA states there is a correlation between savings and wallet. The test rejected the null hypothesis, and it is concluded there was a correlation between savings and wallet, assuming that alpha equals 0.05. When the wallet increases, so does the savings. What is Pearson's R when it is closer to 0? It is an indication that there is a relationship between the two variables, but this does not change either variable. Pearson's R correlation in this case, R equals 0.28 and the p-value equals 0.000. That null hypothesis states there is no correlation between savings and stocks. The alternative hypothesis states there is a correlation between savings and stocks. A significant correlation did emerge, assuming a alpha value of 0.05. The test rejected the null hypothesis. It is concluded there was a correlation between savings and stocks. What happens when the Pearson's R is a positive? There is a strong connection between the two variables in question. They both affect each other in a positive way. The Pearson's R in this case is 0.19 and the p-value is 0.018. The HO, there is no correlation between income and stock. The HA, there is a correlation between income and stock. The test rejected the null hypothesis. It is concluded there was a correlation between income and stocks, assuming 0.05 alpha. What happens when Pearson's R is negative? There is a strong indication that when one variable increases in income, the other variable decreases in debt. Pearson's correlation coefficient in this case is minus 0.05 and the p-value equals 0.535. The HO, there is no correlation between income and debt. The HA, there is a correlation between income and debt. The test rejected the null hypothesis and accepts the alternative hypothesis. We concluded there was a correlation between income and debt, assuming alpha equals 0.05. What happens with a significant two-tailed value? It is located in the correlation box, and it signals the value between the two variables and their significance. Pearson's R equals minus 0.05 and the P equals 0.55. The HO, there is no correlation between debt and stock. The HA, there is a correlation between debt and stock. The test rejected the null hypothesis. It is concluded there was a correlation between debt and stocks, assuming 0.05. Example of the scatter plot data set. There is a scatter plot, also called a correlation plot, that demonstrates there is a correlation between increased income and increased savings. Important takeaways. Remember that the absolute value of the correlation is a signal that the linear progression is either a strong one or a weak relationship between the two variables. When the linear vector is closer to a value of 0.99, it is closer to 1. We can conclude that there is a strong relationship between the two variables. We should be able to visualize the relationship with the correlation coefficient when we examine the Pearson's R equals 0 or R does not equal 0. When we examine the relationship between the two variables and the value is closer to 0, you can conclude that the relationship is decreased. When Pearson's R is positive, the values increase. The first value is also the second value increases as well. When we look at scatter plot, the closer the plots are together indicates that there is a close relationship between the two variables on the x and the y axis. We'll be more than glad to answer.